have breaking news, Paul.
Okay.
Literally, in the sense that it broke something, and I'm very annoyed by this. And also breaking news. Zach was nice enough and sent me a link that allowed me to log into my Outlook.com account, and
Really?
yeah,
Zach Bowden, you mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
He sent me a link, and he's like, "Hey, if you log in with this, it might do it." It took a little finagling, but it worked. And so
That's
now,
cool.
yeah, well,
Yeah, but after months of waiting, you're like, actually, this kind of sucks.
so it's not really. This is the perfect Microsoft thing. It looks really good. Like I was so happy by this. It's gonna have one place to log in for all my stuff, and then I got the feature, and it's terrible. Problem number one. So one, I added my account. No problem adding it.
Yeah.
This is behooves me. Maybe I was thinking that. So you have two icons on the left side for your Outlook and your Gmail. I figured that if you clicked like the Gmail one, it would just open your Gmail in the same tab, and it doesn't.
It's not good.
No, so
you might as well just have Gmail on another tab.
yeah. So that okay, whatever. So then I'm like, okay, maybe I can live with two tabs. I can use Groupie and say these things as.
I mean, do you really need to access both these accounts all day, every day? Like, is this
no?
really
But
a concern?
I'm anal about having like inbox zero. So like I clear out my inbox.
No, I know, but I mean, so I think we talked about this before, but like I listen, what you're doing, I have done, and I know you've done too, a million times, and I go back and forth in different ways, and blah blah blah, and I wrote long article series back in the past about merging accounts and forwarding email and blah blah blah, the whole thing. Ultimately, what I kind of decided to do is the Gmail account we have, well, my Thurrott.com account is my primary account. It's the important stuff, and that's the thing I have in a tab. Like that's open all day long. Everything else is, I use the Outlook mobile app. I know you have some issue with it, but I mean,
I still use it.
Yeah, I just have everything else there, and
It's
so
not a bad idea.
multiple times a day, you just look at it and you swipe through, you get rid of it, and you can maintain that inbox zero that you care about. I mean, it's, I think we technical people, you and I, and people watching this, listening, whatever. I think we overthink things sometimes. Not sometimes, like all the time, and
Maybe.
I mean, you can like obsess over this, and I guess sometimes you just got to let it go.
Wait, there's two things I can't let go. So I could live with the two tabs, which would be fine. But the annoying thing is that if you're in one of those tabs and you click that, you try to switch inboxes again, it doesn't jump to the tab. It just opens a new one. So you end up with 75 open tabs. Okay, fine. We'll move on from that. But here's the one that I'm really more annoyed about. I'm pretty sure it merged my contacts between my Gmail account and my.
It might just be a view. If you detach that account, you hopefully will see that has gone back.
I need to try that before I lose my shit, because that's.
So I will say I forgot about this issue that you just raised, the tab thing, but of course I noticed it. And if you go back in time, back to when this was first kind of being offered, I was saying, like, if this works, like I'll switch to Outlook.com. Like I really want to use Outlook.com.
Yeah. On
the web, meaning like on my PC. That would be my email. I would be happy to do that. And when I did get it, what you just described is exactly what I experienced. And I was like, nope, can't do this. And so I've just gone back to using Gmail. What you really want is what you get in the mobile app. You get
yes, that's exactly
the ability to switch views, but also just an all inbox view. I don't understand why they don't do that.
So you can do that with the Mail app, like the actual Windows 10 Mail app.
Yeah, of course.
But I was trying to get away from it.
To me, for Outlook.com to make sense, for it to be the one, and for it to potentially replace the Mail app as kind of a PWA type of thing, it has to do that thing.
Yep.
So I think this is the first step.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It's not ideal.
So it was.
I forgot because I look at things and I'm like, nope, and I stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
So I just know I can't do it.
So I'm gonna have to detach that and then see if it fixes my contact issue, because that's.
I would hope so. That's
more annoying.
That's quite a thing to do without a very heavy duty prompt.
Yep. So we will see. The other big news of yesterday, not this morning, because this literally happened like 10 minutes ago, or I don't know, 30 minutes ago, whatever. Apple announced the iPhone SE or SE2, whatever you want to call it, and it's a hell of a deal. Like this is, This
Yeah,
is
it's
oof.
I don't think it's a phone you or I or a lot of listeners, readers would be interested in because of the small size and the lack of Face ID, which to me is one of the best Apple features ever.
Hmm.
The kind of heavy bezel design. I mean, this is a really dated design, but if cash is tight and you look at these 1,000+ flagships and you think, man, I could never buy one of those things, but you love iOS and you have your whole ecosystem going there, and you want a phone that's going to last for years.
Yep.
My God, I mean, this thing has the exact same processor as their flagships. I mean, and you can get it with up to 256 gigs of storage if you want.
Yeah.
Um,
Which I think that's personally speaking, I think that's the sweet spot, which would be $449 all in plus tax or whatever for this device.
Yep.
But
yeah. Sorry.
I was going to say, you hit on the key point. The processor is the same, which means that it's going to get updates for a very long time. So,
yeah, I mean, people are going to be picayune about certain things. The single camera system that doesn't have night sight or whatever. The 3 gigs of RAM, which honestly on iOS is sufficient. I mean, it's just an efficient operating system. I don't know. My kids have iPhone 8s of some kind. I think my daughter has the bigger one and my son has the smaller one. My son my son is like a kid, he's a kid who's 22 now, but he recently inquired with my wife, because they're all on a shared Verizon plan, about like whether he was due for an upgrade. She was like, yeah, feel free to buy your own upgrade. He's like, you're on your own now. Like, but with the world the way it is and everything, if his phone was busted and, he needed and would be okay with that smaller size phone, I'd be like, look, we just buy him this phone. I mean, this is something that will last. It's a good value,
Yeah, it really is. I mean,
would never buy $1,000 phone for this guy. I just could never do that. But $400, or whatever, 450 or whatever it is for the mid-level one or something, I would do that for sure.
I just realized I grabbed the wrong image for the background.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's white. I can see why you were confused.
Yeah. But anyways, I think I think it'll be a good phone. I think
they're going to sell a bunch of them in the context of the market is the way it is today because of everything that's going on. But I think it's going to do well.
You look at the comparables, right? I think Mehdi headlined or tweeted it really well. And he goes, 2020, the year that Apple puts out a new phone that costs less than OnePlus. I'm
literally writing about that right now. And it's a weird set of circumstances. OnePlus is in its own position. In fact, I just got I described it as a metric ton of material from OnePlus. I was expecting to get a OnePlus 8 Pro on Friday. I got a bunch of stuff from them that includes both phones and some accessories and cases and other stuff.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, they do a really nice job with the review stuff. And that, by the way, I mean, that's like a dumb thing to communicate to the public, but it's something I would like to communicate to the hardware makers. PC, phone, otherwise, like no one shows up for this kind of stuff like these guys do. Like they've always done this. It's awesome. But, their marketing before was like they were the flagship killer, remember?
Yep.
And the point of that was they did what Nexus did sometimes, which was you offer flagship specs, but at much lower prices. And for a company like OnePlus, they're small, that no one knows who they are really. That's what you got to do. You can't just show up and compete with Samsung and Apple at the same prices. That's right. Google has failed doing this. And yet now they are. So I like the company. I like their vibe. I love the community spirit and all that stuff. I love their products. They're quirky in some ways. In fact, I got to show you this. This is really cool. Let me take the case. Of course, I throw these things in a case because you don't want to damage them. But but now they're just flagships. Like they're going to compete with the market leaders at the same price, and so they're going to have to sink or swim on their own merits, and we'll see how that works out. This is the non. Yeah, look at it. It's like so reflective. It's hard to see. It's the non-Pro 8, I guess. So it's got this Aura Glow style thing, which is like what Samsung did briefly as well. It's really neat, and of course you'll never see it again because you put a case on it.
Right, it looks like a fingerprint magnet, but
it's also well, it's made of, it's like basically glass. I mean, this thing probably break if I sneeze too hard in this direction, but it's beautiful, and the bigger one, I have a clear case on so you can kind of see it, but it's kind of a greenish color, which is the one I would choose, honestly. They don't offer that Aura Glow. It's not called Aura Glow. I'm sorry. Aura Glow is a Samsung term. It is called Interstellar Glow. These are beautiful phones. And I took a couple of test shots yesterday, which looked great, actually. The camera's always been a concern, but these guys do have unique differentiators, really fast charging. And I don't know if you ever use fast charging, like I don't know if your iPhone supports it, but the one I got last year, like it heats up the power supply
really
dramatically. Like if you hold it, it's like almost too hot to hold.
Oh,
these guys do really cold. Cold is, I don't know. They do. It doesn't raise the temperature. They do something really unique with it. So it's super fast. They call it warp charge. And then they have now wireless charging as well, which also does that same thing. So if you use their charger, like warp charge, it actually charges, I don't know what the exact figure is, but some degree more quickly than typical Qi charging or whatever. So anyway, you're right. So to the typical consumer, sorry, to go back to what you were saying, you face, it's a small phone, but you have an iPhone that's brand new, has all modern innards and everything. $400. The thing's going to be good for 3-4 years, whatever.
Yep.
More, if you want it to be. Or here's a company from China. You've never heard of them, but hold on a second.
Stick with me.
It's twice as expensive, and they're from China. Did I say they're from China? Because they're from China. And also they might update this for 3 years if you're lucky. I don't know what the exact time frame is. I mean, it does support 5G. There's that.
That is true. But yeah, it's the price point.
It's an interesting, it's a new world.
It is. I mean, I don't know. Good job, Apple, I guess, is probably the best way to describe it, because the Pixel 4a is supposed to be coming out sometime soonish, which should
maybe
be
next month,
around the same price. So
I know. And why would anyone buy one of those? That's a closer comparison because that's a smaller screen size as well. It might be, I'm sure it's taller than the iPhone, but it's the smaller phone. I don't know. I guess personally, if I had to choose, I would in fact pick the Pixel. It's going to have a better camera. It does finally have a storage choice. It's polycarbonate, which I love.
Yeah, that is nice.
But that's me. I mean, like, if we're being honest with ourselves, most people in the United States, Western countries, whatever, confronted by this choice, would always choose the iPhone. I mean, it's definitely the safer choice.
Yeah, I would. It's the Honda Civic right now, I guess, would be, because the iPhone could be the Honda Accord or the Corolla, whatever you want to call it. So it's just going to be a good phone that lasts. That's about all there really is.
The Google is like a Kia or something. It's probably just as good, but it's like it doesn't quite have the brand recognition.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Something like that.
We're going to get some hate.
These things are never exact. No, Paul, it's like a Hyundai, like whatever. I'm just,
it's not a Camry or it's not an Accord.
Spitballing here, people. Relax.
Yeah, it's not the name brand. So anyways, there's that. That's kind of the big stuff. Oh yeah, Apple's also supposedly going to be releasing over-the-ear headphones that have interchangeable bands and whatnot, like their like the watch.
Do you think anything of the rumors that this might be the beginning of the end for Beats as a brand?
So the way I've always differentiated in my head, and I don't know if it's perfect or not, but Beats has always been sort of like that athletic lifestyle brand, if you will, and Apple's always sort of been like that premium, whatever. So could I see them getting rid of Beats? Yeah, but it seems like they might keep that around just for that entry level kind of stuff that they don't want to do with the Apple brand. I don't know.
Yeah. I think some people mistakenly would put Beats in like a Bose or even like a Sonos, if Sonos made headphones, type category. And I don't see them that way at all. I mean, Beats they're good. They're fine. I mean, actually I have a pair of Beats somewhere around here, but like the wireless ones. Yeah. But I think athletic is a good way to put it. They're kind of, they're bass heavy. I mean, there's a certain sound profile I think that people expect from Beats. Whereas, I'm sure it's gotten better over time, but especially like the original AirPods, the sound quality was lacking. It was more about the design, you know. Maybe the pros are better. I'm not really sure, but
yeah, I could also see them potentially morphing the Beats brand into a specific headphone too. Right.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
like if you want the running ones, they're just called Beats. There's no like multiple versions. It's you just go buy the Beats, and then I don't know.
they could pull a Windows 2000, and they could have headphones that are powered by Beats. You know.
So what they need is the premium brand should be called Apple, the athletic style should be called Beats, and like the peasant brand should just be called Cabbage. So that way they have Apple.
What are you calling it? Cabbage?
Yeah, because we got apples, we have Beats. I know it's the wrong type of Beats.
Oh wow,
but
okay.
yeah,
That's funny. I never even looked at that. Okay,
no, I didn't either. But I was thinking of Dwight Schrute from The Office and Beats.
Yep.
And so we got Apple, Beats, and then the entry level could be the Cabbage.
Cabbage. Cabbage. When you just don't have any money, but you want to hear stuff.
See, it writes itself. Tim, if you're listening, you know, you can send that. We'll send the invoice. And, save your marketing dollars.
Light green color. It's like they're white, but it's got like a weird green tint to it.
You open it up. It's like, what's that smell? All right, cabbage. So, all right. You got anything else for today?
No, I'm going to write up all the OnePlus stuff that I can, and I've switched over to the OnePlus 8, so I'll be focusing on that primarily.
Fantastic. So hopefully everybody else is fantastic, and we'll catch all of you right back here. Ooh, tomorrow's live. It is Friday. That'd be the 1 p.m. time. So we'll catch all of you around then, or not. You know what? You do you.